AI is everywhere, right? But what does that actually mean for the classroom? Well, today we're going to look at how it's becoming this new kind of co-pilot for educators, one that could fundamentally change how we create and share knowledge.
So let's just think for a second. How have we always done this? The traditional way, an educator builds a course. It's a ton of work. Writing documents, putting together slide decks, maybe recording a lecture. And if we're being totally honest, most of us are really only experts in one, maybe two of those things.
And that right there, that specialization creates a massive problem. We're calling it the single medium struggle. It's this friction that teachers and creators have been dealing with for decades. It is just so difficult to create materials that work for all the different ways students learn.
Okay, and this is where you can really see the difference. It's night and day. The old way, it could take months of work. You needed a whole team of specialists, designers, video editors, and you'd probably still end up with just one format. But with AI, the whole thing just flips on its head. We're talking instant generation, tons of different formats, and a process that one person can handle all on their own. The scale of this change is it's huge.
So what's the consequence of that old way of doing things? You get courses that lean really heavily on one thing, usually just text or a bunch of slides. And that means we risk leaving students behind, not because they can't learn it, but because we're not speaking their language. We're not presenting it in a way their brain is actually wired to get it.
But this is where everything changes. Generative AI shows up and just completely rewrites the rules, handing educators this brand new, incredibly powerful toolkit.
In the new way of working, it's actually beautifully simple. An educator can start with just a basic outline for a lesson. From that one outline, they can ask the AI to spin up a video, a text summary, even a quiz, all at once. And then, and this is the most important part, the human takes over to refine those pieces and integrate them into a really solid lesson. It's a whole new workflow.
And that right there, that really gets to the heart of this. It's about empowerment. I mean, think about it. What used to take a whole production team, a single teacher, can now pull off. This was never, ever about replacing educators. It's about radically expanding what they're capable of creating.
So, you might be thinking, if the AI is doing more of the hands-on creation, what's left for the educator to do? Well, this shift actually elevates their role. It moves them beyond being just a specialist in one thing and turns them into something else entirely. It turns them into a conductor.
There's this one idea that just perfectly nails it. The role becomes that of a conductor. Instead of having to play every single instrument themselves, the educator now directs this whole orchestra of AI-generated resources.
So what does that actually mean to be a conductor? It means you're the expert in the room. You're the one selecting the best pieces the AI creates, you're refining them to match your vision, and you're weaving them all together into a learning experience that really makes sense for your students.
And let's be absolutely crystal clear here. The creative judgment is still human. Think of it this way. The AI is the instrument. It can play the notes. But the expertise, the purpose, the final say on the music, that is and always will be human.
So why does all of this matter so much? Because at the end of the day, this whole revolution isn't really about the technology. Not at all. It's about the students. It's about using this tech to finally build classrooms that are truly inclusive.
Look, we've always known that every student in a classroom is different. Some are visual learners, some are auditory, some learn by doing, and others just want to read the text. The challenge has always been, how do you serve all of them at once? Well, for the first time, it's actually possible to meet all those needs, all at the same time. And when you start to think about it, the implications are just profound. A student who really struggles with a dense chapter in a textbook can now watch a video about it or listen to an audio summary. Learners with disabilities can get materials in a format that's tailored exactly for them. It just opens up so many more paths for every single student to understand.
So, where does that leave us? Where are we headed? Well, this massive shift really presents all of us in education with a new creative task, a new mission for what learning can look like in the future.
And here's the thing to really let sink in. Creating this kind of rich, multi-format content, it's not some far-off, futuristic goal anymore. It's happening right now. For educators who are embracing these tools, it's quickly becoming just everyday practice.
And that leaves us with this final, really important question. It's not a matter of if AI is going to make these materials for us. That's already happening. The real question, the exciting opportunity, is
How are we going to use these amazing new abilities to build learning environments that are richer, more engaging, and more inclusive than we ever thought possible?